Hello everyone, how you guys doing? Welcome to today's show. You guys know how it is. We have a great, like a living legend in our midst today. So that's why you cannot regret, being here today. I know it's taking a little bit more time than we expected, but I'd like to welcome you guys to one of the most interesting interviews that you will ever hear in your life. As somebody from the southeastern part of the geographical location called Nigeria. One of the anyway, I'm not gonna let the cat out of the bag, okay? But just to let you know that you did well to wait to be part of this program. Before we go on, please make sure that if you have not subscribed, that you subscribe. All of you that are in Asia, all of you that are in North America, all of you in Israel, wherever you are, you keep complaining that you don't get a notification. Is because you don't click the bell. That's why you're missing all these great men that we are privileged to have in our midst. Today, like I said, we have a legend in our midst. We have none other than the person that you. How do I even. It is so difficult to present him. I'll not mess him up. But he is the Akunwafo of Ukpo. Mbazulike, Amaechi. Nine, you're welcome to the show. For those of you who are not from the Igbo speaking, from Biafra land, as we like to put it now, but the Igbo speaking part of Nigeria, you have to forgive me because I am in the presence of a legend. And before this program started, I'll just give you guys a little secret. He was making some inquiries and he wanted to be sure that he was amongst the people who know who he is. And this thing I'm going to do now is just to convince Akunwafo that we are not people who fell down from the sky. We know who we are and we know in whose presence we have come. So ahead of time, Akunwafo, I know that I am not there with you, but I have gone ahead to bring Angara. That is what I could find here. Yano Soji. It will be translated to you by the people there, but I wanted to make you realize, Akunwafo, na my fine name. And those of you that are not Igbo people, you have to forgive me. I am going to allow Akunwafo to do us the honor of blessing this orgy by way of Angara that I am bringing before him before we start doing what we're doing, because he is a titled chief and a very important one, not just in Ukpo, but in Igbo land. First of all, I'm going to greet you, sir, by giving you three shakes of the fan. Akunwafo n'Ukpo. Akunwafo n'Ukpo. Akunwafo n'Ukpo. Ị ga-adị nna anyị o. Isi m dị n'ana o. Okay. Biko gọziela anyị ọjị. Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Ise. Mm-hmm. He say, he say, he say, he say, he say, he say, na ekwu aga m atachitalụ gị ọjị ka e wee malụ na ife a na-eme n'eziokwu. Mm. Mba, aga m ezi ozi ka ezie. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you, we have a living legend in our midst. What I have just done is very symbolic and it's a mark of respect to acknowledge that the person that we are in his presence, even though virtually, is a great man. Nayuku, let me start by mentioning something. When I first contacted you about this interview, and you asked me for a time and a date, when I gave you the time, excuse me, I need to take this out. 5 minutes. Water, please. Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of this angara. So, Nayuku, when I told you the time that we would want to do the interview, the time that was available, immediately you heard the time, you did not hesitate. You said, no, I can't have that interview at that time. By this time, I've had my lunch and and this is my resting time. I cannot compromise it. Now, I cannot remember the last time I heard somebody talk like that. So I'm wondering, what is it that has created or produced such a very principled human being that at the age of 91 you still have time allocated to everything? I don't know how many people, young people, people who are intelligent, people who have all the time, who are able to do it. I was shocked. So please, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you can be so principled at 91 years to keep to time for lunch, time for resting, time for this, time for that. That's where I want to start because it was so intriguing to me. I want to know what turned you into this kind of, how does one become this kind of human being? Mm.
o'clock, I go and put my head on the bed for a while. At 5 o'clock, I'm up, and I have my 5 o'clock something. It could be tea, it could be food, it could be food, it could be anything. But my family and my servants make sure that there's always something by 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
That time, I receive members of the family or my children who have problems, who want to discuss with me, and who are going to have a chat with me. Stay on. 7:30 in the evening, I have my lunch. Then 8 o'clock, I listen to AIT news. Then I watch ordinary films by 10 o'clock, I listen to news again. But at 7 o'clock, I listen to BBC and CNN. Then on, I watch the film. 11 o'clock, I go. I sleep. Then about 3 o'clock, between 2:30 and 3:30, any time that is convenient for me that I can wake up, I get up again and say a word or two with my God. I tell God, this is the time in Igboland and I said, everybody is quiet, everywhere is quiet. I talk to my God. I discuss with my God. And then I lie down again at about 4 o'clock. And then at daybreak I come out. That is how I do my prayer.
I am so amazed, sir. Let me. A lot of people are itching to hear from you. A sị na onye lie ọjị ya kpaa ya nkụ na ada lie ọjị kwada. For those of you who don't understand Igbo, it means when you climb the Iroko tree, you must try to fetch firewood because you don't climb the Iroko tree every day. Now, we want to hear the most outstanding thing to you about the independence and the struggle for independence, because we know that you played a major role. Can you tell us about, because here we are sitting, it's like sitting at the feet of your father. We are not talking history from the history books. We are talking history from an actor himself. So we want to hear what you consider most outstanding to you. Hello, we can't hear you. Oh, hold on. I don't know. We're not hearing again. Just hold on 1 second. We'll fix it. Hmm. Let me call back. I don't know why we suddenly lost audio, guys. Hold on. We're gonna call back to try to reestablish audio. What was the call that came in? Because okay. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Are we on now?
Yes, sir. We're on now. We're back on.
Now, talking about the struggle for independence and the independence of Nigeria and Nigeria up to today. When I tell the story, I tell it not as a historian who has read things. I tell the story as an active participant I didn't read it. I was part of the making of the system. I joined the radical wing of that party, the NCAC, National Convention of Nigerian Citizens, led by Dr. Azikiwe, formerly led by Herbert Macaulay. And when Herbert Macaulay died in 1947, Dr. Azikiwe took over. I joined that party through the radical wing known as the Zikis movement at the age of 18 years. I was still a secondary school student at that time. Now, I was brought into that movement at Onitsha by Lieutenant who was then a teacher in secretary, but later became a professor. He died some years ago. So later on, I went to Benin to do my first job.
Sorry, sir. I don't know whether they can bring the phone closer. We're not hearing you very well. We're missing, and this is very, very important. I don't want us to miss this. I don't know whether it's possible to either bring the phone close. There has to be a way of bringing it closer so that we can hear Nanyuku more. Guys, what our father is saying is very, very important, and it is not something we want to miss. So it is important that we hear this clearly. There is no need, managing it. We have to hear him clearly, because this is not history from the history books. This is history from an active participant. These are the people who are the history themselves. This is not like telling a story about someone, but these are the people who are the main actors of the history. We need to move the camera a little bit because it's cutting now. You could have, yeah, yes, okay, yeah, it is better now. It's a better view. It's a better view.
And can you hear me better now?
Yes, we can hear you better now.
Okay. So, as I was saying, I joined the Zikis movement at a young age of 18. And when I had my first appointment at secondary school at Benin, I helped Barrister Bosua and Chike Kuyasi in forming Benin branch of the Zikis movement. This was about 1948, 49. Then in 49, the Zikis movement thought that the parent body was getting rather too slow or too not enough in the demand for self-government and independence. And so we decided, the National Executive Committee meeting of the Zikis, to launch massive public resistance to pressurize the British government to agree on a program for independence of self-government. And to launch out this, a lecture was organized to be held at Tom Jones Memorial Hall in the Bute Meta, Lagos, in October 1949. Osita Aguna was to deliver the lecture, and the title of the lecture was A Call for Revolution. Now, when the lecture was delivered, Dr. Azikiwe, who was the chairman of the lecture, told us late that he wasn't feeling well. And so Tony Nahoro stood in for him and chairman the lecture. And then in the lecture, we told our people not to warn the government, the British government in Nigeria, that we were going to tell our people not to pay their taxes again. We hadn't told them. We told in the lecture, we told them we were going to tell them if they don't give us a date for self-government and independence, we were going to tell our people not to pay taxes. And we're going to tell the police to not to throw tear gas or to shoot nationalists when they march again, and so forth and so on. Immediately after the election, the following day, the police moved on Osita Abuna, Amoku Bokoye, Tony Nehru, and other people who took part in the lecture, Fred Anyam and other, Malam Raji Atana. So we got all of them arrested. And so we decided, and we had earlier decided that no Zikis should plead in any court of law. You make a plea or recognize any British judge or magistrate. And we should never ask for any leniency or to apologize or to any remorse for anything. And so when they arrested some of them, we decided to reenact the election again. And so the election was reenacted. Now presided over by Malam Raji Abdallah, with Fred Anyam and others, the marina in Lagos, one hall in the marina in Lagos, they arrested all these people. I was in Benin then, and they arrested all the branches, that's of the Ziki Zone. Bob Obuagu was arrested at Jos, Okiyi was arrested at Kano, Udom was arrested at Port Harcourt, Zimiro was arrested at Onitsha, and Esija and the Berinoi were arrested at Enugu and the Chara. All over the country, they arrested us. And then we went to court. In the court, after Abdallah told them, say, you British people, you fought for your own independence. Now that I'm going to fight my own independence, you say I'm committing an offense. If it is a crime to struggle to win freedom for one's country, then I will implore you, the judge, to inflict upon me the maximum punishment. So also, Anya said, when we were fighting with your soldiers side by side in Burma against Hitler, you told us we were fighting for the freedom of the world, to liberate the world from Germany. Now I'm fighting for my own country, and then it turns sedition. Send me to Gabon, send me to anywhere you like, but the struggle must continue. Same thing, Angola told the court, the judge, that I don't recognize you. You are paid by the British government who I'm fighting. How do I expect justice for you? You can sentence me to life. But remember that one day we shall come on our own, and you shall be exposed for what you have, for the treachery you have played, and your children will be ashamed of you, and so forth and so on. Same thing at Benin. I didn't make any plea. I abused them. They sent all of us to prison all over the country. And when I was sentenced in Lagos, I think 3 years, more 3 years, in Timira, Onitsha, Udom and Port Harcourt, and so forth. They sent us to various things of imprisonment. Then they banned the Zikis movement. When I came out from prison in 1952, we decided now to change the Zikis movement, the ban government, and all our documents taken over by the government. So we decided then to change the name of the Zikis movement, and then we changed the name and called it NCNC Youth Association. And so it wasn't the Zikis movement again. The Fred McEwen became the President General of the NCNC Youth Association, and Mbazulike Amaechi became the Secretary General. And so the struggle continued. In 1956, the Queen of England was to visit Nigeria. And then we decided to protest the coming of the Queen. And so there was Action Group Youth Association, NCNC Youth Association. Action Group and NCNC were the two big political parties that were really fighting for independence. And so even though they were ideologically opposed, then we decided that the youth bodies of these two great parties will come together and express opposition to the Queen. And so we tore down the buntings and the decorations they made from Yaba to Tinubu Square. We tore by Echetabu, who was known as Eche Homo, who later became a lawyer. So he and our national group boy decided to tear down the flag and everything from Yaba to Lagos, and they started doing it because in our meeting, Echetabu said that action group we use, we have cowards. So they said, you, the ancients, you are the cowards. So they took a challenge. If you say, let's go for the challenge and pull down. So as they were putting down the flags and just 10 days of the Queen, people, PWD workers, who were trying to decorate something, they didn't understand until at Tinubu Square, they tore down the flags and the buntings and the decorations all the way from Sabo Market in Lagos to Butemeta in Lagos to Tinubu Square before they were challenged at Tinubu Square. Chicago melted away because he was working in the court there. He needed to be around, he needed the geography of the place. He went away. He had already got his passport and he melted away and went away to England. That was the how Chicago left the country. And so the struggle continued until then the British government agreed to bring McPherson to drop the Richards Constitution and to introduce the McPherson Constitution. And so there were a series of conferences. It was at this time that the group became, it was at this time that the NPC, Northern People's Congress, was formed in the North. All along, the North did not support independence, except a few youths among them, like Malam Raja Abdallah, Aminu Kano, Tanko Yakasai, and Bello Juma, and so on of them. Very few of them as individuals, but as a body, they were not in support of self-government and independence. But in 1952 now, when the constitution was amended and then my present constitution came into effect, NPC was formed. So we then had three major political parties in Nigeria: the NCNC, the NPC, and the Action Group. The NPC believed their policy and slogan was One North. That was the policy and the slogan. Action Group policy and slogan was West for Westerners, East for Easterners, North for Northerners, Nigeria for all. The NCNC slogan and policy was One Nigeria. So it was only Dr. Azikiwe's NCNC that really believed in one solid, undivided Nigeria. And so, eventually, the British government compromised. It was agreed that election would be held and Nigeria will go into internal self-government from 1953 upwards to 1950. So after that, there was a different government in October 1960. So there were then Eastern region, Western region, and Northern region. So the self-governing, internally self-governing.
Hello.
Follow the government of the West and the US headed the NCNC government.
Oh.
Now, 1959 December, an election was held that to usher in independence throughout the country. Federal election was held. In the election, the NCNC scored 2.5 million votes, 2.6 million votes. After scored 1.59 million votes. MPC scored 1.58 million votes. Now, the NCNC was saying that then with 2.9 million votes, we should form the government. So on one occasion, we were holding a meeting with a delegation from Awolowo. Awolowo has sent a delegation to us asking us to agree to a government where Zeke would be the prime minister and he, Awolowo, would be the minister of finance. So while we were discussing this with the delegates of Awolowo, the telephone rang upstairs and Zeke went upstairs to answer the phone. Now answering the phone, Zeke came out. While coming down the stairs, he said, so when he came down, he told the people, we are going to consult more and we'll get in touch with him. So when they left, he told us, yes, I told you, now why now? So that he went up to answer the phone, and the phone was from the Sadana of Sokoto. The Sadana of Sokoto told him that he had with him there a delegation from Awolowo, asking the Sadana of Sokoto that he, Awolowo, wanted to form an alliance with him, so that the North would bring the prime minister, and he actually would be the minister of finance and economic planning. So Zeke said, the double deal is there. They sent the delegation. So Zeke said, he told Sadana, this man, we're having the delegation right here now, telling us the same thing they are telling you. So it was there that Zeke and Sadana agreed that they should exclude Awolowo from the government, that he was very treacherous. That was very sincere. Now, the issue of prime minister now came up. The NCNC said, we have majority, 2.6 million, which is not the prime minister, they are not saying, no, we want to be prime minister. We have the population. And remember, the condition, the British government added a caveat in the agreement that was during the constitutional conference, that if any region decided not to have independence in October 1960, independence for Nigeria would be postponed indefinitely. So the North said, if we don't have prime minister, we are going to exercise our option in this regard and we postpone independence. So Zeke consulted us. So we said, let anybody be prime minister, but we want our country independent. That was why the NCNC and Zeke gave up being the prime minister. Then Zeke be the nominal head of state, the governor general, and then Zeke won in as the governor general, Balewa as prime minister of the independence. Then in 1961 to 62, we went into a constitutional conference and wrote a constitution for the first time, a truly Nigerian constitution. Because the other constitution by which we got independence was a constitution which was signed by the Queen of England, granting Nigerian independence. So it wasn't Nigeria's constitution. So we went into a constitutional conference from 1961 to 62, and then formed the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Moving now, the Queen of England. So 1962, when this constitution was implemented, Dick became the president, not the governor general again. This continued until 1968, when an patriotic military dropped. Caused a disintegration in Nigeria. And so the wound inflicted by that coup and the civil war that followed has not been healed. Unfortunately, up till now, the Igbos are still suffering in the hands of the rest of Nigeria. Not all parts of Nigeria, but particularly the section of Nigeria. To them, the war is not. Igbos were defeated and that's by many young men who were not even born or were very young during the Civil War and the independence. They no, we can't do this. Instead of being slaves in our country, let us have our own country. Let us go away.
Nna sorry, nna biko iwe n'iwe na nna forgive me for cutting in. I don't want us to move ahead of ourselves because we have now we are about to enter another era. But let me go back to the era that you just told us. I mean, I am so glad. All of you people that are listening to Worship Media now, all of you need to pay me because you have just heard undiluted, pure rendition of Nigeria's history, a summary that you have not heard anywhere else. Now, you know the thing that is so intriguing and baffling to me and surprising? From your story that you have told now, I am seeing that you were calling a lot of Igbo men and men, like people from the Biafran area. A lot of the names that you are calling, they were the ones that were going, reaching out to other parts of Nigeria, negotiating with them, asking them to join. It looked like, and you say that all the other parties that were formed from the different regions, if you look at their mantra, it was only NCNC that was saying one Nigeria. So it looked to me like the Igbos were more Nigerian and more nationalistic than any other people. So why is it now that when Igbo people want to do anything or talk, people will say they don't like to be together with other people. But you have just explained that at a time the North did not even want the independence. So it is so intriguing and baffling to me. And I am going to come back to that period. But now that you started talking about, you've just entered a little bit into the Civil War. And you have said that the result of that Civil War is Igbos are still suffering from the effects of that Civil War. I want us to take us a little bit into that Civil War. The same way you have told us this story about independence. I know you played a major role in that war. Nobody can tell the story of that war without mentioning you. But there are some stories. I've seen so many books that people have written. But I know that there are some stories that only you can tell us. I know there's a story about a plane and things like that. I want you to please tell us those stories about the war that a lot of us don't even know.
Now, people spread the propaganda at that time because there were so many Igbo young officers involved in the coup of January 1966. This was accidental. So they said that the coup was an Igbo coup. And I said that it wasn't an Igbo coup because if it was an Igbo coup, there was no need for it. There was no need. The leaders of NCNC or the Igbo, the majority Igbos there would have allowed Nigeria to break up or to do that kind of thing. So the war was organized, but the coup was organized by young officers, including Yorubas. Only the North were not there. But there were so many Yoruba officers, young officers, many captains and majors. It was their level that did the coup. Now, don't forget that if it was an Igbo coup, somebody like Colonel Atom Neba, who was the General, was the Master General of the army at that time, they went to him to bring the key of the armory for the coup, and he refused to surrender the key of the armory because he was opposed to the coup, and they shot him and killed him. Atom Neba is from my friend. Look at his house, based on 3 kilometers from my house here. They killed him. It was an Igbo man. Now they said because Opara was not killed, the premier of the northern and eastern region, and the Sabeba was not killed as the premier of Midwestern region there. Well, and I tried to explain this. Opara was not killed because on the night of the coup, Archbishop Macarius of Cyprus was on a state visit to Nigeria and was at Enugu with Opara and was Opara's guest. So the soldiers knew that they would not go in to kill Opara by mistake. They might even kill the man, head of state of another country. That was why Opara was spared. In the Midwest has been recently newly created, and there was no military installation in the Midwest, so there were no soldiers at Benin, the capital of Midwest then. That was why Osadebe was there. So it was really not true, the fact that the coup was necessarily an Igbo coup. The thing, of course, was that there happened to be many Igbos in the army. By then, British handle of the army was promotion was on merit. So that was the majors and captains, most of them are Igbos. I'll give you an example of the Air Force. In 1963 or 4, we decided to set up an Air Force for Nigeria. We recruited 22 young Nigerians and sent them to Germany for training. And when they went to Germany, first of all, the German Air Force people started with altitude test. They would take the boys up to the air, into the air, twist the aircraft, turn around and then land. So after that, the Minister of Defense was national. The majority of the boys who were selected were from the north. So after this, out of about 13 northerners, 11 opted out, said, I'm not going to and they went back. But the Igbo boys who were there, the few of them who were there, including the president of Oka, they said, no, they braved it out. And so they qualified and came back as officers in there. So it was accidental. Nobody thought of anything. So the coup cannot and will not and was not meant to be an Igbo coup. Because we have no problem with the federal government. We were getting on well with the federal government. Zeke was contented with his position. The president of the Senate was Oris. They shared the offices. And the way we shared the offices with the MPC was they took one, we took one. They took one, we took one. They took one, we took one. So everybody was happy. So there was no cost for Igbos to say that they're doing a coup to overthrow the government. In our own, the NCNC we manifested the oneness of Nigeria. One, at Enugu, the capital of Eastern region, the mayor of Enugu, the mayor who was elected, was the chairman of NCNC Youth Association at Enugu, Malam Umaru Atine from Sokoto. He was elected the mayor of Enugu for 2 terms, the capital of Enugu, the Eastern region. John Umolu from Esakok, in the member of the House of Assembly at Port Harcourt, and Zik appointed him parliament. Was elected a member of Eastern House of Chiefs. So, we really did not have anything, any point to be able to say the government should be overthrown.
Sir, can I ask a question? Looking back now, is there something that you would say, Kai, you regret um is there anything you regret from the role or the part that the Igbo or the southeastern nationalists played, the role you played that time? Do you have any regrets? Are there something that you would have done differently, seeing the way Nigeria is right now and the kind of treatment that Igbos are getting, the deal they are getting up till today inside Nigeria? Are there things that you wish had been done differently?
Much as I can say, much as I would say that I'm very sad at what is going on now, I certainly will not regret anything on the part I played in Nigeria, because I was working, I was fighting for, I was working for a big nation, a big nation. There are advantages in bigness of nation. America is big, India is big, China is big. Africa, Nigeria is the biggest country in Africa. So I wanted us to belong to a big nation. But then it turned out that while we were open-hearted in this, we did not know that there were people who had other motives now besides what we have. Like,
Wow.
like hope we'll get to eat in this and that.
Wow.
Like what we have to
Wow.
that is, according to what the Savannah said in those days, that Nigeria is the property of a particular microscopic tribe in the country, and that we are their slaves or their estate, because of estate left for them by Uthman Dafodio. Much as I am not happy about it, I do not regret playing the role of somebody who wanted to live in a big country, in a big, peaceful, democratic country.
Wow. Sir, thank you so much for that. And it is very, very good that our generation is hearing men like you. And let me go back to the thing you said about under the Zikist movement, how you guys called for a revolution, how you went out there and you behaved like young men. I'm glad that young men and women of our generation are hearing from you, so that when they are being called upon to do certain things and they are just slacking, they should know that the people that fought for them to be seeing the little freedom they are seeing right now, they didn't do it the way some of them are doing now. Against the background of the way that the Igbos and the southeastern part of Nigeria, Biafrans, are being treated again, and considering the agitation that you're seeing right now, especially the one that has Nnamdi Kanu in the forefront, what do you feel, Nayuku? Do you think that it is justified for young Igbo men and women, young Biafrans, to say enough is enough? Since we are not getting a fair deal, we want out.
And now, let me, before going into that, let me say one thing. entitled A Political History of Nigeria and Words and Thoughts of Mbazulike Amaechi. At page 90 of the second volume of that book, I recall where the Sadhana of Sokoto said in with the Parrot magazine in October 12, 1960, that in 12 days after independence, what is now known led to us by our great grandfather, Mbazulike. We are not going to allow, we are going to hold on to him. But they were going to hold on to him, and they will use the South as slaves or as products of their great grandfather. It's at page 90 of the book. But this guy to bring the book, I read it again. Where is it? Because you got to bring it. I read the book for a while. So exactly what is happening now, much as I do not regret fighting for one big Nigeria, I would not want to belong to a country called Nigeria as a second-class citizen or as a slave. Instead of being a slave in a big country, let me be a free man in a small country. But it is for people to decide. It is for people to decide. This country, what is happening now, is the original plan of Osman Danfodio ended in 1814 and 1804. They want to carry out now. They have fully trained young men being sent down to the south here. And they're taking positions. They're fully trained in arms and weapons. They are sending them down. We don't know where they are going. But they are preparing a position. They are preparing a position. Now, let me now read to you exactly this. Volume 2 of the book I'm telling you about.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is, I said, in spite of the shaky nature of Nigerian independence, the nation attained independence on October 1, 1960. But not quite 2 weeks into independence, listen to what Amaechi, the leader of the Northern People's Congress, NPC, and Premier of Northern Region, said, as quoted by the Parrot magazine of October 12, 1960. Then I quote now. The new nation called Nigeria will be an estate from our great-grandfather, Osman Danfodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We must use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as conquered territories, and never allow them to have control of their freedom. Our conquered up the glory, but we have now completed and we have now accomplished the task, which it did not complete. I will now give the Quran as the unquote. This was 12 days after his independence. And so his policy because Balewa did not agree to this. Balewa was a true sincere politician, and he believed sincerely in the government. He was running. But this other hidden agenda is what they are now implementing. They are now sending these people, and then they are trained there. If you notice that the head of the army, the head of the navy, the head of the air force, the head of the civil defense, the head of the police, the head of the SSS, the head of the military intelligence, every security department in the government of Nigeria is headed by the North. And then the key industry that keeps the country going, the oil, it's always controlled by them. It's controlled by them. And so the Ministry of Finance, all key positions in the country are held by them. As for the Igbos being excluded, Igbos are totally excluded. What they reluctantly accept is that the Constitution says that every state must have a minister, and so they pick ministers from Igbo land. And what do they give them? Minister of Health, Minister of Education, Minister of Industry, what do you call it? Science and Technology. So the Minister of Labor, go ahead with workers' strike. Minister of Education, go ahead with the Minister of Health, go ahead with the problem with the resident doctors. That's where our ministers go, where they put the evil. And so, if the young men of today are revolting, I do not blame them. But I do not advocate violence because we are not in a position to face them. We are not in a position to challenge them. They have this control over this ministry. So anything anybody does now, but there is one thing, there's one way they cannot. Southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt have been calling for an amendment of the Constitution, for a restructuring of the country, for a constitution that will represent Nigerian people. Because all the constitutions we have now, apart from the 1962 constitution which we made, all the other constitutions were military constitutions. 1979, Obasanjo appointed Rotimi Williams. Rotimi Williams Committee made a recommendation. The military edited it, removed what they did not like, and imposed their own constitution. Still a military government in Nigeria. The 1999 Constitution, again, a Constituent Assembly was inaugurated, and they arrived at certain decisions and passed on to the military government, and the military government edited it and passed it as a decree. So Nigeria is being ruled by a decree of military. And of all the military rulers of Nigeria, the 8 or 9 military rulers of Nigeria, only Obasanjo ruled for 2 years from the south. Agui ruled from the south. The other 7 or 8 of them were all northerners. And so they write the constitution, not sending the constitution to the plebiscite, no. So the people of the south are calling for a meeting, a conference, coming to in the spirit of give and take, in the spirit of real sincerity, to draft the constitution that will represent Nigeria. Not when Abuja will be standing how many local governments will create in a number of states. Abuja will decide how many wards will be in my state. How can you do that? How can that happen? And then the military authorities say no. But there is still an option, non-violent option.
Eziokwu. eziokwu nna anyị ukwu. um
enwere ka esi ekwu obodo ahụ.
eziokwu. We've lost video feed. I hope the power on the device is still there. If we I don't know if we need to check whether the power on the device is still there. So I'm going to cut you off so that they can check your device, and I will call back and see if we will reconnect. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a very interesting interview. I don't know if you're gaining as much as I'm gaining, because some things, when you hear it from these legends, you can form your own opinion, but at least it helps to clear the air on so many things. I want to see if I can reconnect with them. If I cannot reconnect with them, I'll just dial them directly and see what is going on. Maybe the battery is low, but it's been very interesting. It's been a very interesting. So I'll give them a little time. I'll give them a little time. We'll be reconnecting to video very soon. Sorry, I had put the audio off. We will reconnect to video once they're ready, because we don't want to miss anything. This is a very important discussion that we're having here. Very vital and very rich in information. This is the kind of information that you don't get every day. So we are really so grateful that Chief is giving us this information. All right, I'm going to bring Chief back. Um, now we're back with you.
Yes, I'm still here around.
Okay. Uh, yes, you were saying that as much as you will not, um, you're saying you will not prescribe violence, and there are so many other options that will be. You don't discuss it in, in in public view. We understand that, and we appreciate that people like you still think about us. Now, what is your take on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and what is your advice for our generation? Because honestly, now we are very bitter. We are very angry. In short, if not, anyway, karapusia. Mana, I want you to talk to us. Talk to my generation. Gwa anyị okwu maka na otu ọ dị anyị kịta. Otu ọ dị anyị kịta. Mm, I don't know.
Nah, first of all, before talking about Nnamdi Kanu, let me talk of the obstacle, the main obstacle we have right now. Our governors, the governors of Igbo land, they have executive powers.
Mm,
They have control of the treasury. They have control of even the legislatures. They control the legislatures. I rubber stamp to them. Otherwise, if they had been like Okara was when he was premier of the region, we cannot have another Okara here. But if we have people like that, or people like me, when I was a minister in Lagos and the issue of the census came up, I laid a workout in Parliament that paralyzed the government of which I was part, and the Prime Minister was obliged to change a population figure which was about being imposed on the country where the eastern side was reduced. And so, be that as it may, the use of Nnamdi Kanu read have every right to protest because even and they don't see any future.
No.
And so, if they are struggling for their own present era and for their own children, they have every right to struggle. But the enemy they are facing is a very callous and vicious and conscienceless enemy. And so, a matter of strategy will be involved. You can bring about a change without firing a gun, without going guerrilla. You can still bring about a change. As I say, I pray that God will keep me alive a little longer.
Aghọtago anyị ghọta Igbo ịsụ nke a bụ eziokwu nna m gwara m ya mba enwere ife ikwu nsị na nna m gwara m ya na a na-etukwanụ m nna bụ enyi mba eziokwu
na-enwere ike iweta chenji ahụ anyị na-achọ n'ụdị anyị si chọọ without firing a single bullet.
Anyị na-anụ ife ị na-ekwu. Anyị na-anụ ife ị na-ekwu. Thank you so much.
God has a purpose for living me.
Yeah.
Leaving me as the only one surviving in the country. Of all the ministers of the First Republic of Nigeria, I'm the only one alive.
Wow.
Of all the members of the government of the First Republic, I'm the only one alive. Of all the national officers of the NCNC and other political parties in the country at that time, at independence, I'm the only one alive. God has his purpose for keeping me. And I will only ask you people to come to human house. Ọ bụrụ na television ga-ekwu ya.
Eziokwu nna anyị ukwu. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nayuku. It's been a very... I wish I can go on and on. I would never get tired listening to you. You have fueled me. You have motivated me. It feels so good to have a father like you. I mean, we are... Honestly, we've heard you.
Ọgụ akwụkwọ ụnụ ka ọ karịrị n'aka. Ọgụ na ụnụ ama eso nụ ọgụ. Ụnụ eso webere onye iri iwe. Gaa na ndị otu enwere ego ha ji. Gọọmenti ndị na-anọ n'Igbo land achọrọ inyefe ego. Gọọmenti ahụ ndị a bụ onye na-akpata na-etinye n'akpa ha. Ha na-asọ EFCC. Maka atọ ha nga. So n'ọbụ nụwa nọ n'anị mmadụ nke na-amanya aka na-akpọ ụnụ wee weta ibe eji anụ ya bụ ọkụ. Ọ chọrọ ego ndị na-anụ na gara anụ ọgụ ndị na-eweta ego na-eweta ego ndị na-eweta ibe ọzọ na-eweta ibe ọzọ ụmụ diba na-agwọ ọgwụ na-ekpe ekpere.
Eziokwu nna anyị ukwu ekene gị akụnwa afọ n'ukpo n'ụkpọ gbaalụ m akụnwa afọ n'ụkpọ ị ga-adịla anyị nwere ife na-eme gị anyị ga-abịa we will come to you and we will sit at your feet, and we will get your wisdom, and we will listen.
Gbaa mbọ ma ka a ga-esi sekụla ibe njide akwụkwọ a 90 bụ ada ma Amaechi Chineke kpọọ m jebe akwụkwọ a dị ebe a bịanugoro akwụkwọ onye na-egoro onye na-eji the young generation need akwụkwọ a bụ Bible two volumes these two volumes ọ bụ onye si na ya chọrọ iri ili ịbụ part of the struggle ndị be anyị ma ebe na-eme akwụkwọ a bụ Bible ha ga-ejiwe n'aka.
I have a question. This book, does it have an electronic copy?
I don't know about that. No. Who's
No,
going to do? Who's going to finance all that?
no, sir. We have to do something. And let me at this point acknowledge Ogilisibo and Princess Enwa for the efforts they've been making. I know I will talk with them after this. We have to get this book on Amazon so that we can be able to spread it around. We will have to put it on Amazon. I will talk with them, and that is a promise. I will promise you, I'll personally work on that. We'll put it on Amazon, and a lot of people can have access to it. Sir, I really want to appreciate you. There is so much to be discussed. There is so much that we have not even discussed here. But I'll leave that for another day. Um, but I want to thank you on behalf of all our listeners from all over the world. They are all itching to call, but I have already taken your time. I don't want to abuse the privilege that I've been given, so that when I come next time, you can still avail me the opportunity of talking to you. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you for giving us the time to talk to you. Uh, do you want to say any last thing?
Ihe na-asị na-ekwu bụ ebe onye na ya nọsi ike o.
Okay.
Onye marakwa na nwata jerecha n'ọbụ na isi onye Igbo adatọ na mba n'ọbụ ala Igbo bụkwa ụlọ and mmadụ amara be nna ya ọ na-agba ọkụ onye ekwe na ada n'iru be nna ya ọsị ga-eme ọsị ka m gwa atụ onye ya bụ na mgbe interest unu ga-esiwe ike karịa etu a and unu ha nso chukwu na debere ndụ tata na ha dị nso ma prince o ma ojeri Igbo ma ogirisi Igbo ma ndị ma ọnụ nwa na onwe ụlọ onye bi na ha bịa ka ọ tụrụ asụ na chukwu
Thank
na debere ndụ tata.
Chukwu gọzie gị n'anya okwu. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye bye, sir.
All right.
Okay, so that has been um wow, a very interesting interview with Mbazulike Amaechi, Akunwafo N'Ukpo, a living legend. Okay, he's the last of his group, and we are privileged. He's 91 years old. That person you're seeing is 91 years old, and he is still very strong. And that is why I don't understand why a lot of people they are there. There is so much they can do, but they are not doing it. They're just slacking. If you are not involved in this struggle, if you're not doing anything about this struggle, I don't even know what to tell you. But we appreciate him, and we will continue to bring people like him. A lot of you are not able to listen to this now, but you can go back and play the video. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on this broadcast, and thank you for all your support. Like always, come back next time at this time, and we will continue to bring you very, very important personalities who are relevant to the struggle that we are all embarked right now. And let me tell you something. Um, we will not all approach this struggle from one direction. We are not all going to agree in terms of opinions and principles. But the most important thing is that we must continue. You hear it from the young people, you hear it from the middle aged people, you hear it from our elders. It is still the same thing. So we shouldn't busy ourselves trying to look at this person's own perspective, this person's own direction. That's not what it's all about. It's about you being committed to the struggle, you doing whatever you can from wherever you are, whatever platform you're operating from. I am doing my own from my own platform. And let me tell you, I'm not going to do everything perfectly. You're not going to like everything that I'm doing. You're not going to understand everything that I'm doing, but don't focus too much on me. Continue to do your own, okay? And by God's grace, we will all achieve our aim one of these days. So, on behalf of everybody that has helped to make this happen, I really want to appreciate people like Ogilisi Igbo and Princess Enwa for driving all the way to our father, but to make this interview very, very possible. It takes a lot to bring these interviews to come to pass, but we must continue. We must do what we must do for our fatherland, for our motherland. On behalf of all of us here in the Toronto studios of Worship Media, Dr. Chidi, Dr. Erica, and everybody in between that is helping us from all over the place, I want to say that I love you, I love you, and I love you guys. Please take care of yourself, and bye bye.